Carbon fibre shafts are all the rage in the pool world, but they are pretty expensive. So I've been doing a little bit of digging on Temu to see what's available.
If you have shopped on Temu, you will know it's a bit of a minefield. However, I've come across this little beauty, but the price seems a little bit too good to be true.
A few moments later.
So here is my carbon fibre shaft off Temu. It took about 2 weeks from when I ordered it to come to the house, so that's not bad. Now I'm going to tell you the price near the end of the video, so stay tuned. This is exactly how it was sent, so I've not opened it yet, so this is the first time I'm going to see this shaft. Right, let's see what is inside this tube. Of course, there's no fancy frills, packaging and all that. What do you expect? Obviously, we all know Temu is cheap anyway. Yeah, so it's just coming in your bog standard cardboard tube. No fancy packaging like the top brands. A bit of bubble wrap. Oh, what's this? Right, let me get rid of that. Okay, so we've got the shaft, obviously. We've got a joint protector. I'm not sure what this is. Let's have a look. Ah, I know what it is. It's the other end of the unilock joint. So I ordered this in a unilock joint just because I know I've got loads of old cues, so I know it'll fit one of them. So if you're fancy making your own butt end of the cue, Temu have sent us the other end. So overall, that's what you get with the shaft, the carbon fibre shaft off Temu. It comes in the old cardboard tube, bubble wrapped up, all safe. You get your shaft. You get the old joint protector. If you fancy making your own butt, have a go. Right, next, let's get into what this shaft looks like at first glance. First of all, it actually doesn't look too bad. Obviously, I said I got it in unilock joint. Also, I got it in the 12.4. You can get it in 12.9 and 13.9. I'll come back to the tip in a second, but the actual finish, to be fair, it doesn't look horrendous. The joint seems to be an okay, and this little collar here, you know, it's flush. Black ferrule, not a fan of that. Talk about that when I eat some balls in a minute. And it's got a pigskin tip, so it's no brand, it just says pigskin. As I said, 12.4. One thing I've noticed is, having played with my white carbon shaft, it feels very smooth, man, and quite shiny. This almost feels like it's not got a finish on. I don't know what finish these cue companies are using, but that's the best way I can describe it. There's no real finish on it, and I can sort of feel it on my hand, but the taper looks all right, and also so far so good, not too bad. The black ferrule, actually, I'm going to talk about it now. I think this will be a bit of a concern for me, because when you're cueing up to the cue ball, it's almost like you don't know where the end of the cue is. But I'm going to hit some balls now and we'll see what that feels like. Right, unilock is the joint I ordered. As I said, I knew I had quite a lot of cues for unilock joint, and I must say, it fits actually nice, very flush. There's no little lips. Sometimes you do get that with cues. First of all, this tip, ugh, feels absolutely rock hard. Now obviously this is the tip they sent the shaft with, so it's not like you have to keep it. I'd certainly be getting rid of it, but I'll hit a few stop shots just to see what the shaft feels like in my hand. But I must be honest, I'm not exactly an expert on carbon fibre shafts, because they've started to come more into the sport since I left the sport, and I'm using, when I play, white carbon. Beautiful, beautiful shaft, and feels very nice in your hand. Feels a lot different to this shaft. We'll do a bit of a compare a little bit later. First of all, let's see if I can knock this ball in. So just a few stop shots. Oh yeah, the tip, it's the tip. But the shaft, overall, not bad. And the taper, not really a big fan of mad tapers in cues. It seems quite even all the way through. Of course, this tip has not been bedded in at all, so I know it's quite hard. But you've got to give it a bit so it beds in. overall, not bad in the hand. It actually feels okay. It's actually a lot smoother than I thought it was going to be. It's got this sort of matte finish to it rather than a shine, and it actually does look all right on the hand. But the black ferrule, don't like it. Struggle aiming really. Obviously here there's no real pressure on it, I'm just whacking the balls in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up a few spin shots, a few shots we draw, see what the power's like. But overall, yeah, it's very stiff as well. I had a lot of confidence playing the stop shot, and the taper looks quite nice. You know, overall playing them stop shots, you've got to have trust in your cue, in your shaft. Felt all right, so now I'm going to do a few spin shots, just a little bit of spin shots, just to see how much it throws. It's not going to throw too much though, because the shaft is so solid. There's no real giving these carbon shafts. That threw quite a little bit actually. Must have been a bad stroke. I'm pretty much just aiming to pop the ball and then just putting a bit of left on it. Yeah, there's not much throw at all. Yeah, I think overall it's not performing too bad. The spin's okay, very low deflection, but I think all carbon fibre shafts are pretty much like that just because they're so stiff. There's no giving it like there is with wood. The tip is awful, so that would definitely have to go. Even though it's not been bedded in, I could probably shape it a little bit better actually, which I might do that. But overall, the side, everything's going where, you know, I pretty much feel like I'm aiming. It's 29 inch, same as the butt, so the length's fine. But in the hand, it kind of feels all right. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and do some power draw shots. This is where I believe when you're paying a bit more for your equipment, I think this is when it matters, where you've got to hit things a little bit harder and it feels nicer in your hand. Now, carbon fibre shafts are sprayed with some sort of foam in the middle. I don't know if different brands are using different types of foam, I haven't got a clue, but it does say on Temu this has got some foam in it. Again, I don't know what actually that means. You can only really go off feel. So now it's time to get ripping. Not too bad, there's no real power there, but I do think that is down to the tip. Yeah, I got into that, not bad. It just feels very hard. Oh, not bad. Maybe the tip's bedding in. Yeah, I'm just trying to get it a bit more domed, but I just know that this tip, I mean, let's be right, they're not going to put one of the top brand tips on. So it's easy, you know, to get that change yourself. But it just feels rock hard. But if I can get a bit more dome on it, that will help with the spin. And after I've done this, I'm actually going to play a little bit of 9-ball, so I'm faced with a lot of the shots. As soon as I hit the ball, it's like clunk, clunk. It's like hitting concrete. But the shaft in my hand overall, it's like matte black. As I said before, usually they're a bit shiny. I don't know if this matte black might be a bit better with the light glare. So I've got to get a bit of spin and a bit of power on this. This is where it matters. This is where you've got to trust in your equipment. Yeah, just no power there, was it? Actually got lucky, I was trying to come here. Oh, that was shocking. I think if I've just got to pop the ball with no real, you know, power or spin, I'm going to be okay. Right, here we go again. It's a little dinker. Got to really trust in your equipment here. Oh, well, I missed it. New cloth. Made me look good. Oh, this is a big power shot. Can I get here? Did I get there? It's not bad. Right, I'm going to have another rack because I feel like I've spotted something when I was playing. So let me just break these balls. Yeah, I can definitely feel something when I'm playing. The actual hit, potting the ball, I feel great with. There's no doubt about it. But when I'm queuing up, I don't know if it's because it's not got a finish on it. I'll show you my shaft that I've been playing with in a moment, but it's almost like this is matte. So when I'm queuing up, I can hear it. It's like going shh, shh, shh. So that's a bit, I don't know if I like that. Well, that's why they put like some sort of, I don't know if it's a lacquer or a sheen or something on a carbon, but this definitely doesn't have that. We'll show you in a minute the difference in colour. Yeah, that's doing my head in. Maybe it's just me and my OCD. Listen, overall, potting the ball in the hand, you know, the look, it's not too bad. Of course, I spoke about the tip, that would go. I've always used Kamui. So this is my plain shaft. This is white carbon 12.5. It's got a Kamui tip on it. This is 12.4 Temu shaft. Now, this, I'm going to call it matte black. I'm going to call this gloss black if you like. But on the hand, this just feels so smooth. You can see it's nice and shiny. This, on the other hand, well, it isn't. It's just matte black. And it gives this weird noise. When you're playing, I can hear it on my hand. It's like that type of noise. As where this one, it's got nothing. So now I'm wondering if that's why they put this lacquer on these more expensive shafts or not. Obviously, I don't know what it sounds like if you're using a glove. I've never played with a glove, but I would imagine there's still a bit of that noise there. But overall, it's not performing too bad. I know it would probably play a little bit better with a better tip on it, even though I've domed it a bit more, but it feels very hard. And again, this will have some foam in it. All these carbon shafts have got foam sprayed through the middle. This also says it has that, but I just don't know. Is it a cheap foam, or is it done better than the more expensive shafts? I just don't know. What I do know is one thing I hate is the ferrule. If you look at the ferrule, mine's got a white ferrule on. It's actually a Kamui clear tip, but look at the white ferrule. That just lets you see the cue ball when you're queuing up. This one, your Temu shaft, is black, so it's just a big no-no. You can just see a brown tip at the end, so it doesn't help with sighting at all. It's time to give my honest review on the Temu shaft. It's actually got a brand name. It's actually called OK Healing. So we'll stick with Temu shaft. Obviously it's carbon fibre. 12.4 is what I ordered with a Unilock joint, just because I've got loads of Unilock cues stuck over there. Workmanship, not too bad when you look at the joint and this collar and the ferrule. There's no silly imperfections. It all seems okay to me. The tip, however, is disgusting. It's got to go, this pigskin. I've only been playing probably just under an hour in this video hitting balls, and the middle layer of this tip is starting to squash and stick out. But that's not the end of the world, because you can just flick it off and put, you know, whichever brand you prefer. This is very hard. I always use medium, so it's up to you. So if you put a good branded tip on, I think that will improve playability. But, you know, overall for the money, I'm going to come to the money, don't worry. It's not too bad. But what do I dislike about this shaft? At first, I thought I might like the matte finish. I thought under the light, maybe, you know, it looks okay. But I think that's why the top companies are putting this sort of lacquer or sheen on it, because when you're playing, you can hear this awful noise back and forward, and it just started to grate me a little bit. I didn't like it at all. Also, the black ferrule. Hate the black ferrule. Absolutely hate it. I know why these cues have got white ferrules on now. Just basically when you're queuing up, you can just see where the cue ball is. It just looks nicer in your sight line. So the black ferrule is also a bit of a no-go. But overall, the taper, the shaft itself is not too bad. Now, this is what you've been waiting for. How much was this shaft? It was £55, just 55 English pounds. That was delivered to my front door in that cardboard tube. So I think if you're still using wood cues and you're a bit unsure, you're a bit of a newbie and you think carbon fibre cues are expensive, maybe just get one of these, feel it out, see if it's a bit for you, and then go to one of the better brands. Change the tip up as well, that'll make it play a little bit better. But overall, for 55 quid, it's not bad. What was it? You got... Oh God, that is hilarious. I'm like, where have I put this cue? That is unbelievable. Oh, that's made my day.